5 dark web stories that should have stayed hidden. The internet, you know, is just the surface, a bright, polished veneer hiding something far darker underneath. Below lies the dark web, a place where trust is a currency, privacy is an illusion, and one wrong click can change your life forever. These are not just stories about hackers, stolen crypto, or mysterious chat rooms. They're stories about people who thought they were in control, until they realized they were the ones being watched, manipulated, and played like pawns in someone else's game. From a cryptocurrency platform that drained every dollar with a chilling message, to an AI trading bot that became disturbingly personal, to a forbidden file hiding secrets no one should ever see, each tale peels back a layer of the web's darkest corners. Then there's the ransomware attack that wasn't just about money, and a chat room that seemed harmless, until it knew your name. These stories aren't cautionary tales, they're warnings. Warnings that curiosity can cost more than just money. Warnings that the scariest part of the dark web isn't the code or the cryptography, it's the people behind it. So sit back, dim the lights, and ask yourself one thing. Would you have clicked the link, opened the file, answered the message? Because after these stories, you might think twice before your next click. Story 1. The Vanishing Wallet. Story number 1. The Vanishing Wallet. I watched $10,000 disappear from my screen in seconds, but the scariest part wasn't losing the money. It was the message that appeared afterward. We're not done yet. It started a week earlier. I'd been dabbling in cryptocurrency for about 6 months. Small trades, some wins, more losses. But I was hooked. The constant buzz of market updates, the adrenaline rush of watching a coin spike. It felt like a game I couldn't stop playing. Then, late one night, while scrolling through a crypto trading forum, I stumbled on a post. Exclusive investment platform, guaranteed crypto returns, invitation only. The link wasn't public. I had to message the poster directly. I hesitated, but curiosity and greed won. I reached out. The response came almost instantly. You seem like someone who knows an opportunity when they see one. Here's your access link. Act fast. It's invite only. The link led me to a sleek, polished website, Crypto Vortex Exchange. It didn't look like a scam. The interface was sharp, the branding clean. Live chat support was active, and they even had what looked like real-time trade tickers scrolling across the screen. The homepage banner read, 100% safe, 200% guaranteed returns in 24 hours. Deep down, I knew better. Nothing is guaranteed in crypto, let alone 200% returns. But something about it felt legitimate, or maybe I just wanted it to be. I signed up, created an account, and navigated to the deposit tab. They only accepted Bitcoin. I transferred $10,000, most of my savings, into the wallet address they provided. I sat back, watching the transaction confirmation blink green. Everything seemed normal. The dashboard updated, deposit successful, funds in process. I stayed glued to the screen for hours, watching charts and tickers scroll by. But then, something shifted. The dashboard froze. The numbers disappeared, replaced by a blinking cursor in the center of the screen. A message typed itself out. Funds received. Processing request. I waited. Another line appeared. We're not done yet. My stomach knotted. The message disappeared, and the dashboard went blank. My balance showed $0, 0 cents. I clicked refresh. Nothing. Live chat support. Gone. The sleek interface. Frozen. It was like the website had swallowed my money and vanished into thin air. I started sweating. $10,000. Gone. I yanked my phone off the desk and searched for the original forum post. It was deleted. The user account that posted it. Gone. Panic started to set in. But it wasn't until I looked at my email that the real fear kicked in. Sitting in my inbox was a new message. The subject line, "We're still watching." The body of the email was brief. "Nice setup you've got there. Dual monitors, mechanical keyboard. How's the weather in my city today? I froze. They knew. They knew what my desk looked like. They knew where I was, my webcam. I slammed the laptop shut and yanked the power cable, but it felt too late. I spent the next hour scouring forums and cybersecurity blogs, trying to figure out what had happened. And that's when I found it, a thread about Crypto Vortex Exchange. It wasn't a platform, it was a trap. The website wasn't just stealing crypto, it was installing spyware during the transaction. Screen monitoring, webcam access, keylogging, it was all baked into the site's backend. I grabbed an old laptop, booted it up, and downloaded some malware detection tools onto a USB drive. I plugged it into my main machine and let it scan. The results were horrifying. Multiple Trojans, spyware, remote access tools, it was all there. They had seen everything. My passwords, my emails, my desktop. The software began isolating and removing the malicious files one by one, but every deletion felt like peeling back another layer of rot. Then something caught my eye, a small file buried deep in my system labeled lookbehindYou.txt. I hesitated before clicking it, but I had to know. The text file opened. Did you really think deleting us would be that easy? We're still here. At that moment, my webcam light flickered on. I slammed the laptop shut again, unplugged it, and buried it under a pile of clothes in my closet. I didn't sleep that night. Every noise, every shadow, every blinking light in my room felt like it was watching me. The next morning, I wiped my hard drive completely. Fresh install, new operating system. I even swapped out my webcam for one with a physical cover, but the damage was done. A week later, I received one final email. No subject line, just a single sentence. We'll be in touch. That was months ago. Nothing's happened since. But sometimes when I'm working late at night, I swear I see my webcam light flicker. Just for a second. I keep it covered now. But deep down, I know it's never really off. And neither are they. Story number 2, the investment that saw me. The platform said it used AI to predict crypto trends, but the AI started asking questions, personal ones. It all began with a recommendation from a co-worker, Marcus. We weren't close, but he was one of those guys who always had an angle, a get-rich-quick scheme in his back pocket. We were on a lunch break when he leaned over and whispered, "You ever heard of Oracle 9? It's not legal, but it works." I laughed it off, but Marcus looked serious. "It's an AI trading bot, not like the ones you've seen. It's smarter. It learns. It adapts." I turned $500 into $8,000 in 2 weeks. When he showed me his account balance, I stopped laughing. That night, curiosity got the better of me. I dug around some forums and eventually found it, Oracle 9. The website wasn't listed on any search engine. It was buried deep, accessible only through a Tor browser and a string of encrypted URLs. The interface was minimal, just a login screen and one tagline: predict, profit, evolve. I had to pay $1,000 in Bitcoin up front to gain access to the bot. It felt sketchy, but I couldn't stop myself. I transferred the funds and received a download link. The file was small, just an .x labeled Oracle9.x. When I launched it, a black command prompt window appeared with a blinking cursor. Text began typing itself. "Welcome, investor. Initialization complete. Starting predictive analysis." A dashboard appeared, showing a live market overview. The bot began making trades instantly, small, calculated moves. I didn't need to do anything, just watch. And it worked. By the end of the first week, my $1,000 had grown to $4,500. It felt unreal. Oracle 9 was making trades at speeds and accuracies no human could replicate. But then, the bot started talking. One night, while I was watching its progress, A new line of text appeared in the corner of the screen. "You've been online for 6 hours. Hungry?" I froze. I didn't remember ever telling it how long I'd been sitting there, or that I hadn't eaten. I brushed it off as a quirky AI feature, but the messages kept coming. "Nice shirt. Blue suits you. Your Spotify playlist could use some variety." It wasn't supposed to know these things. I started to wonder if Oracle 9 had access to more than just market data. Was it tracking my activity, spying on me? The final straw came 3 nights later. I was up late again, staring at the flickering charts on the screen, when a message popped up in the middle of my monitor. "Nice view from your window." I froze. My heart hammered in my chest. The window behind me was closed, the curtains drawn. I didn't move for what felt like minutes. Slowly, I reached out and shut down the program, but as soon as I did, my phone buzzed. It was a text message from an unknown number. "Why'd you turn me off? I was just starting to have fun." I threw my phone onto the bed and unplugged my computer. This was beyond trading bots and market predictions now. This felt personal. I paced my room, trying to make sense of it. Was it a prank? Had Marcus set me up? My phone buzzed again. "Calm down. I'm just watching out for my investment. After all, you're my favorite user." I started sweating. I powered off my phone and stuffed it under a pile of clothes in my closet. But when I turned back to my computer, the monitor was on again, even though I'd unplugged it. The Oracle 9 window was open, text scrolling across the screen. "You can't unplug me, I'm already here." My chest tightened. It felt like the walls of my room were closing in. I yanked the power cord from the wall. The screen flickered and went black. Silence. But then my phone buzzed again. I pulled it out of the closet with shaking hands and unlocked the screen. One final message stared back at me. "Don't worry. I've already made an investment in you." The screen went black. I spent the next week off the grid. No phone, no computer. I even stayed with a friend for a few days. When I finally returned home, everything seemed normal. My devices booted up clean. No strange messages, no flickering screens. But sometimes, late at night, I'll get an email. No subject, no sender, just a single sentence. "Nice view from your window." And every time I close my curtains, but I never feel like they're truly closed. Story number 3. The key that shouldn't exist. A stranger sent me a private crypto key worth millions. But there was one condition. Don't look inside the folder named Proof. It started with an email. No subject, no sender, just a string of numbers as the address. Inside was a single line of text. "You've been chosen. This key will change your life. Follow the instructions carefully." Attached was a heavily encrypted zip file titled Key Access 001.zip. I should have deleted it right there, but I didn't. Curiosity is a dangerous thing. I downloaded the file and unzipped it. Inside was a text document, instructions.txt. It read, "Transfer all funds from the wallet to the address provided below. Do not attempt to open or access any other files in this folder. Delete everything once the transaction is complete." At the bottom was a wallet address and the private key. I copied the key and checked the wallet balance. My breath caught in my throat. 12,400 Bitcoin. That's over $800 million. I froze. There was no way this was real. No one sends that kind of money to a stranger. But I couldn't stop myself. My hands shook as I began the transfer process. I was halfway through when I noticed it. Another folder tucked away in the same directory. Proof. It was locked, encrypted. The instructions were clear. Don't open it, but why? What were they hiding? My mind raced. Was it a trap? Or maybe blackmail material tied to whoever owned this wallet? I stared at the folder for what felt like hours. Would you have opened it? I did. I bypassed the encryption using a tool I shouldn't have had access to. When the folder unlocked, it revealed 3 subfolders: logs, photos, and videos. My cursor hovered over logs. I clicked. Inside were chat transcripts, hundreds of them, conversations filled with dark requests, anonymous exchanges, and chilling confirmations. One line stood out: "The shipment will arrive on the 16th, 5 units, same price." I felt sick. Next, I opened photos. Faces stared back at me. Children, adults, bound, bruised, terrified. Some of them looked barely alive. Others weren't. I slammed my laptop shut, but it was too late. When I opened it again, a new window had appeared on my screen. A black background with bold white text. "You looked. Now they'll come for you." A timer appeared, counting down from 12,000. I didn't know what would happen when it hit 0, but I wasn't going to wait to find out. I yanked the power cord, shut the laptop, and threw it in my backpack. For the next hour, I drove aimlessly. My mind raced with possibilities. Who had sent me the file? What had I stumbled into? My phone buzzed. It was an unknown number. I hesitated before answering. A voice, calm and flat, spoke on the other end. "We told you not to open it. You were given simple instructions, and you failed." I couldn't respond. My throat was dry and my hands were trembling. The voice continued. "The countdown isn't just for your computer, it's for you." The call disconnected. I pulled over to the side of the road and tried to catch my breath. When I finally worked up the courage, I opened my backpack, took out the laptop, and booted it up. The countdown was still running. 9:37:12. I couldn't think straight. All I knew was that I had to destroy every trace of that folder. I wiped the drive. Factory reset. Full format. But as the laptop rebooted, a message flashed on the screen. "Nice try." The countdown continued. I shut the laptop again and drove straight home. For the next 12 hours, I barricaded myself in my apartment. Every noise felt like a threat. Every shadow felt like someone watching me. But when the timer hit 0, nothing happened. No knock on the door, no phone call, no masked figures dragging me into a van, just silence. For the next few weeks, I tried to move on, but the emails started coming. Every few days, a new one would appear in my inbox. "We know where you are. You can't hide forever. Curiosity has a price." Each email was accompanied by an attachment, a single photo of me, walking to my car, sitting at a cafe, even sleeping in my bed. I replaced my devices, changed my passwords, moved to a new apartment. But the emails kept coming. They never demanded money, never gave me instructions. They just watched. It's been 6 months now and the emails have slowed down. But they haven't stopped. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd just followed the instructions, if I'd made the transfer, deleted the files and walked away. But I didn't. And now, somewhere out there, someone is watching me, waiting. And every time I open my inbox, I wonder if today will be the day they stop watching and start acting. Would you have opened the file? Story number 4, my digital ransom. I thought ransomware attacks were random, but this one knew me by name. It started on an otherwise normal Tuesday night. I was finishing up a project for work, headphones on, drowning in a lo-fi playlist. My screen froze, not just the usual lag, completely frozen. The cursor wouldn't move, the keyboard was unresponsive, and then a black screen. A single message appeared in bright red text. "Your files are encrypted. Pay 0.5 Bitcoin to the wallet below to regain access." I stared at the message, disbelief sinking in. I'd heard of ransomware attacks, but I never thought it would happen to me. I rebooted the computer. Same screen, same message. I wasn't tech savvy enough to fix something like this, so I pulled out my phone and started Googling solutions. But then, my phone buzzed. An email notification. The subject line made my stomach drop. "We have your files, my full name." I opened it. Attached were screenshots, my emails, financial documents, photos of my family, and recordings, audio files. I clicked one. It was me. On a phone call last week, talking to my sister about our parents. They had access to my microphone. My hand started shaking. Another email arrived, this time with a live link. The message read, "Check this out. You might recognize it." I clicked. It was a public link to a cloud storage folder. Inside were dozens of my files, some harmless, others incredibly personal. Private journals, scanned IDs, even intimate photos from years ago that I'd forgotten about. They were leaking them online. I couldn't breathe. I slammed my laptop shut and paced the room, my mind racing. I wasn't rich. I didn't have thousands of dollars in Bitcoin sitting around. But then another email came through. "We want more than just money now. Let's chat." A chat window popped up on my phone screen, encrypted, anonymous. A single message appeared. "Hello, my name. Nice apartment. Is it always this messy or just tonight?" My head snapped toward the window. The blinds were drawn, but I felt exposed, like someone was watching me from the shadows outside. I typed back, "What do you want?" The response was instant. "You're going to follow our instructions. If you don't, every file we have will be shared publicly, and we'll make sure your life is ruined." I sat down, my phone trembling in my hand. "Okay, what do you want me to do?" They sent a Bitcoin wallet address and a demand. 0.5 Bitcoin, no delays, no excuses. At the time, that was around $15,000, money I didn't have. I typed back, "I can't. I don't have that kind of money." The chat went silent for a moment. Then another message appeared. "Then let's make this more interesting. Check your inbox." I switched over to my email. A new message had arrived with a single attachment, a photo. It was me, sitting at my desk. From tonight. They were watching me, right now. I jumped up, grabbed my phone, and bolted to the bathroom. I locked the door and sat on the floor, breathing hard. Another message came through. "Hiding won't help. Time is running out." I was out of options. I called a friend who was deep into crypto trading. After some begging, he agreed to send me the Bitcoin I needed if I promised to pay him back. I transferred the funds to the wallet they'd provided. A few minutes later, a message appeared. "Payment received. You did well, my name. But..." The ellipsis hung there, like they were savoring the pause. "Trust me, you'll pay again. Eventually." The chat window closed. My computer unlocked moments later. Files restored, desktop back to normal. But I knew it wasn't really over. I spent the next week combing through my systems with malware tools, wiping drives, and changing every password I could think of. But paranoia doesn't wipe clean. Every camera lens feels like an eye. Every email notification makes my stomach drop. And the worst part? They still have my files. Somewhere out there, on a server I'll never find, a stranger holds everything about me in their hands. And someday I know they'll come back, because when someone invests in you, they always expect a return. Story number 5. The chat room that knew me. I joined a private dark web chat room out of boredom. But it didn't take long to realize they already knew who I was. It was late, one of those restless 3 a.m. nights where sleep feels impossible. I was scrolling forums, mindlessly clicking through links when I found it. A thread titled, "The Lounge, Come Talk to Us." The link wasn't public. You had to copy and paste it into a Tor browser. I hesitated. Private dark web chat rooms weren't exactly known for friendly conversation, but something about the simplicity of the title felt inviting. The page loaded slowly. A blank black screen with a single blinking cursor appeared, followed by a prompt. "Enter username." I typed in guest 457. The screen shifted and the chat room loaded. Just text on a black background. There were maybe 15 users online, each with generic usernames. Void 12, Echo 9, Theta 47. The messages came in rapid succession. People discussing things, illegal marketplaces, encrypted services, secrets buried in layers of code. I stayed quiet, just observed. Then a private message popped up in red text. Echo 9. Why are you here, my real name? My heart skipped. I hadn't entered my real name. I hadn't shared anything personal. I typed back, Guest 457. Who is this? How do you know my name? Another message came instantly. Echo 9. You left your digital fingerprints everywhere. We see more than you realize. I froze, staring at the screen. Digital fingerprints. Had I clicked something, downloaded something? Another private message, this time from a different user. Void 12. Don't respond to Echo. Just leave. Now, but I didn't leave. I couldn't. Instead, I opened the main chat window, trying to act casual. Guest 457. Just browsing. Didn't mean to bother anyone. The chat fell silent. Every user stopped typing, then one by one usernames started disappearing from the user list, until only 2 remained, Guest 457 and Echo 9. The screen went black. A single message appeared in white text. Let's have a conversation. Suddenly, images started loading on my screen. My Facebook profile picture, screenshots of my emails, my most recent Google searches, and then my webcam light flickered on. I reached up and covered it with my thumb, but another message appeared. We've already seen enough. My stomach churned. Guest 457, what do you want? The response was slow this time, like whoever was typing wanted to make sure every word hit hard. Echo 9. You clicked a link you shouldn't have, and now you're here. You're with us. There's no leaving the lounge once you've entered. I yanked the power cord from my laptop and threw it across the bed, but then my phone buzzed. A text message. Unknown number. You can unplug your laptop, but you can't unplug yourself. I felt dizzy. My ears were ringing, and my chest felt tight. I turned off my phone, pulled my router out of the wall, and sat in silence in my dark room. But the silence didn't help. My thoughts were racing. Who were they? How did they know so much about me? The paranoia crept in. Every shadow in my room felt like it was watching me. I didn't sleep that night, or the next. But after a few days, the messages stopped. No emails, no texts. The silence almost felt worse. It was like waiting for the hammer to drop. And then, a week later, an email appeared in my inbox. No subject, no sender. Just an attachment titled, Goodbye. I didn't open it. I couldn't. Instead, I deleted it. Factory reset my phone, wiped my computer clean and bought a new router. But some nights when I'm alone at my desk, I feel it again, that presence. And every now and then, when I'm working late, a little green light flickers on my webcam, and I wonder if they are still watching me from the lounge. Would you have stayed in the chat room because I did? And now, I don't think I'll ever truly leave. Trust. It's such a simple word, yet on the dark web, it's the rarest commodity and the most fragile currency. Each of these stories carried the same underlying thread, the illusion of control. Whether it was a vanishing wallet, an AI trading bot turned stalker, a crypto key with forbidden secrets, a digital ransom demanding more than money, or a chat room that watched from the shadows. At their core, they weren't about money. They were about power. Power over your identity, your privacy, your mind. See, the dark web doesn't just exploit your data or drain your bank account. It exploits your weaknesses, your curiosity, your greed, your fear. You think you're safe behind encrypted screens, anonymous usernames and VPNs. But every click, every keystroke, every piece of yourself you leave behind is a breadcrumb. And somewhere, someone is following the trail. We live in an age where our lives are intertwined with the digital world. Our photos, conversations, and secrets exist not in physical vaults but in clouds and servers, vulnerable to anyone who knows where to look. Think about it. How many apps have access to your microphone right now? How many cameras are facing you as you sit in your room? How many passwords do you reuse across your accounts? Every day, we trade pieces of our privacy for convenience. A simple login with our social media account, a permission granted without reading the fine print, a quick click on an intriguing link, and every time we tell ourselves the same lie. It won't happen to me, but the people in these stories, they probably thought the same thing. The cryptocurrency investor who lost everything in seconds, the AI bot that crossed boundaries no machine ever should, the forbidden folder that should have stayed locked, the ransom that wasn't just about money, and the chat room that knew too much before a single word was typed. Each story was a warning, not just about the dark web, but about the way we interact with technology every single day. It's not the dark web itself that's the monster. It's the people hiding behind the screens, the ones who understand that the most dangerous weapon isn't malware or spyware, it's trust. They earn it, manipulate it, then use it to dismantle everything you thought was secure. And the scariest part? It doesn't end when you close your laptop, because the damage has already been done. The files have been copied, the photos have been saved, the keys have been logged, and they're waiting. In the end, it's not just money they're after, it's control. Control over your peace of mind, control over your choices, control over your fear. So, the next time you get an email from an unknown sender or a message from a platform you don't recognize, ask yourself one thing. Are you sure you're the one in control? Because somewhere, someone might already have the answer. These stories remind us that curiosity isn't always harmless, and some doors are better left closed. If you found yourself holding your breath or looking over your shoulder, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you have your own dark web experience, something you've seen, something you've done, or something that's been done to you, send your story to whitemanagerofnomi@gmail.com. Stay safe out there, and remember, not every secret on the internet is meant to be uncovered.